All right, we're gonna try this thing again. We're gonna try it again. I want to thank everybody for rejoining us and coming back and joining us again. We had some problems with the phone lines. Got that situation rectified. Phone lines are open 508-924-3521. 508-924-3521. We got the problem fixed. We good to go. And I'm gonna go to Curtis. I'm gonna start this thing back off with Curtis. Curtis. Curtis.
Yeah, what up, fam?
Are you with JP? Are you with me? Hey, they say that this is Black History Month, February the 2nd, Black History Month. Um, at best, it's 29 days, leap year. Normally, it's 28 days, but this is Black History Month. Is it needed? Is it warranted? Should we have it? I've talked to some of my Caucasian brothers and sisters, Curtis, and they said that there's no need. I don't know why there is a Black History Month. Why do y'all have a Black History Month? We don't have a White History Month. I chuckle when they say that, but that's what they say. And so my question to you, Curtis, is Black History Month. Is it needed? Is it warranted? Should we have it? What are your thoughts on Black history?
Why do we even question why we have it?
Come on, let's talk. Let's have a conversation, brother.
The question why we have it, to me, states a need.
Mm-hmm.
We have it because there's certain parts of Black history that's not being.
Mm-hmm.
There's a lot of African American history and Black history abroad that is not being told to the public.
Mm-hmm.
So you have to have a month where you go a little deeper into that history. What is wrong with it? Why is it bothering them so?
Mm-hmm.
And what fool, what imbecile would say we don't have a White History Month? White history is told 335 days, 330 days, 335 days out of the year.
Mm-hmm.
You have Caucasian American history in America. If you go overseas, you have Germanic history.
Mm-hmm.
You go to France, you have French history.
Mm-hmm.
I don't get it. It sounds like another way for people to diminish or attempt to diminish the efforts made by a particular group and or sect in this country.
Mm-hmm. Wow.
To not teach it is to deny that the existence of it.
Mm-hmm.
Well, tell me how you getting on a helicopter. Tell me how you getting on an airplane, because they just uncovered just a week ago that the Wright brothers was not the first people to fly in an airplane.
Yeah. I saw that. And yeah, I saw that exactly. And see, they sabotaged. Yeah, exactly. And they sabotaged the young man that had it. They sabotaged his whole plane. They sabotaged it, man, on a train that he was taking it to a. Go ahead, Kurt. You tell your story, brother. But yeah, I saw that.
You saw that, right?
Mm-hmm.
Okay. It's information ain't been put out there. People get up every day, they grab an ironing board, throw the ironing board out there, and iron their clothes.
Yes, they do.
Not even realizing, not even knowing that, okay, that's Black history.
Mm-hmm.
He put their pants on and zipping up their pants every morning.
Mm-hmm.
Not even realizing that's Black history.
Mm-hmm.
For the folks who like whiskey, like to have them a shot of Jack and Coke. Not even realizing it's Black history. Mathematics, wow. Black history.
Mm-hmm. Come on.
7 arts and Black history. Come on, man. Like, that's just those Caucasian American brothers and sisters that believe like that, they just ignorant, man. Like
Mm.
ain't no other excuse for that. They self-perpetuatingly ignorant. So those are the folks that I don't deal with. I let
Wow. 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 508-924-3521. 508-924-3521. Give us a call. We'd love to have your input. Ryan, good morning, sir. How you doing this morning?
Doing good. How you doing?
Hey, doing good, doing good. Ryan, this is Black History Month. So we're asking the question: is it needed? Is it warranted? Do we even have to have a Black History Month? Why does it exist? I've talked to some of my Caucasian brothers and sisters, man, and they have said that they don't know why there is a Black History Month. They say they don't have a White History Month, so why is there a Black History Month? Ryan, what is your response? What do you say to that? Is it warranted? Do we need a Black History Month?
Hmm. I don't know why they would say there's no White History Month. I
Mm-hmm,
go with that.
mm-hmm,
That's just ignorant. What does it matter if there is or isn't
mm-hmm,
a White History Month?
mm-hmm.
You know, um, I think that it's important that we're aware of everybody's history. Um, there's, like Curtis was saying, there's lots of things that swept under the table that you never get taught about.
Mm-hmm.
And that goes back to that old saying of to the victor go the spoils,
Yes.
and uh, the winners write history.
Mm-hmm.
And uh, I don't agree with that because I think the truth needs to be told regardless of who created something. Um, taking somebody else's property is theft.
Yeah. Yeah.
You know, we
Yeah.
still see it all the time.
Mm-hmm.
Like corrections being made to historical figures or corrections being made to artifacts. Now, if this person actually didn't find it or invent it, these are things that need to be told because it sheds light on things. It sheds light in dark places, how evil man can be. So it's important that we celebrate everybody, not just white and black.
Mm-hmm.
There's plenty of things out there that all cultures have contributed to mankind, and to deny anybody their flowers, so to say, I think is not a good idea.
Mm-hmm.
Um, I think the most controversial thing that I've ever heard on the topic is Morgan Freeman.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know if you've ever seen that interview where uh, he says, "Why do we need to celebrate Black History Month?"
Yeah, I saw that. Didn't agree with him, but I saw
And
that.
I was like, "Yeah," and that
Mm-hmm.
was one of those subjects that I was just kind of like, "Huh?"
Yeah, yeah, exactly.
You know, um, I think everybody needs to be celebrated. I don't agree with hiding anything, and you know, it's just one of those things. I guess
Mm-hmm.
that's all I got to say at this point in time.
Good deal, good deal. Cassandra, good morning, young lady. How you doing this morning? Cassandra, you there?
Good morning.
Good morning, young lady. How you feeling?
Okay.
Good, good, good. Black History Month. This is February the 2nd. It's Black History Month. Do we need it? Is it warranted? Do you feel like some of our Caucasian brothers and sisters have said, they don't understand why we even have a Black History Month? I mean, what's the need for it? There isn't a White History Month, is what they're saying. Their words. Cassandra, what's on your heart when you hear something like that?
Okay. Okay. Well, they celebrate St. Patrick's Day. They celebrate Oktoberfest, which is about German and beers or whatever that is. There are so many holidays that surround uh, white culture. I'll just say it like that.
Mm-hmm.
Surround white culture, and we have been our contribution to this country and to the world has been diminished so much over the years that yeah, I think we do need something to make people aware that it was not, you know, the people that said that they created things that they didn't do it. Why? I I think that was Ryan. I agree with Ryan.
Mm-hmm.
If you take something from somebody and you say that it's yours, you a thief.
Yeah. Yeah.
You a thief.
Mm-hmm.
And there are some things that the black inventors and discoverers will never get credit for. Never.
Mm-hmm.
Their
Never.
families will never benefit from it.
Mm-hmm.
Never. So I
Exactly.
think it is important for us to acknowledge whoever wants to acknowledge their history. The Chinese have their times. Everybody has. You know what? This isn't even funny,
Mm-hmm.
but it's funny because it's so crazy.
Yeah. Yeah.
Why is it that anytime black people want to recognize anything, there's a problem?
Mm-hmm.
Or people, we don't need that.
Yeah.
Well, what's that for?
Yeah. Yeah.
But you can do anything you want, and there's never a question.
Mm-hmm.
I'm just saying.
Wow. Wow. And Ryan, I'm glad that you mentioned the that interview, because I actually just pulled it up. I'm gonna play it, and we're going to comment on it. We got Tucson just joined us as well. But let me play this. Let me play.
Raheem,
Yes, sir.
I'm sorry to cut in, but it just kind of clicked in my head too. When we talk about Black History Month, when I came up in school, it was always focused on the march
Mm-hmm.
and Martin Luther King and Rosa Parks and Harriet Tubman, which are all instrumental figures, right? But it never touches on day-to-day things or more recent things.
Yeah.
Why is that? Why do we not talk about some of the more important things instead of always dwelling on that specific subject? And I
Mhm.
think it's not an excuse. I'm not saying it as an excuse, but I think that's where people kind of get complacent.
Mm-hmm.
Why are we talking about the same old stuff? Everybody knows about this.
Yeah.
Can we
Yeah.
get something fresh?
Well,
You know what I mean?
they don't want the fresh. It is. Oh my love. See,
I do.
me too. But my thing is this right here. There's certain comfort zones that even in a situation, even in an uncomfortable situation, there's certain comfort zones that a person don't want to step outside of. They don't want to step outside of that comfort zone. See, I got to be real careful when you to certain individuals in Black history. They don't want to talk about. They don't want to acknowledge. They don't want to show any shine any light on these individuals. Some of them like Martin Luther King, Malcolm X, stuff like that. They'll talk about that because that's the ones that people talk about all the time, every year. But there's so many different people. There's so many different people in our history that has caused uproars, that has fought back and different. They ain't gonna talk too much about people like Nat Turner. They ain't gonna talk too much about that. And stuff like these are people that wasn't too comfortable to be around, lack of a better term, and so they don't want to give them any light at all. They don't want people to know about them because that might ignite something else in people that may not go in a favorable way. And I'm trying to be very selective with my words, being very selective with my words. Cassandra, you understand where I'm going with it?
Yeah, and can I just throw out a name? I don't know whether somebody mentioned it, but Robert Small, the black man that actually stole a Confederate ship, a whole ship.
Mm-hmm.
I ain't heard about him till I was a grown woman.
Yeah.
I ain't nobody, and I'm from Charleston. He stole a ship in that area, and I ain't never heard about that.
Yeah, he's
How do you
considered
do
one of
that? How, as a black man, huh?
Yeah, Cassandra, he's considered one of the first. It's Kurt. He's considered one of the first American spies.
Yeah.
Like he was a spy.
That's what I'm talking about. But no, have you ever? I didn't hear about him until I was past college.
Mm-hmm. Exactly. Yeah.
I mean, past college age.
Mm-hmm. Because like I say, that's one of them conversations, Cassandra. That's not a comfortable conversation to be had. Look at what he
No,
did.
it's not.
Look at
No,
what
it's
look
not.
at what he did. Look at what he did. And so, man,
Yep.
you want us to talk about that?
He outsmarted all of them. He outsmarted all of them white folks that
Wow.
thought they were so smart. And he took a whole ship. What the heck? Really?
Mm-hmm.
Really? He did that, right?
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
That's
So, and it's, man, Black History Month, y'all nuts, boy. Because we're still dealing with trying to get the Supreme Court right now to release the Morse-Ford Bridge. That's a whole nother topic right there. The
Exactly.
Release. Why won't you release so that families can have some truth? Because y'all trying to protect white folk in Georgia, rich white folk whose family killed, lynched 4 Black people. Y'all still trying to cover that. That's the lynching that I direct every year. I'm just
Exactly.
saying.
Cassandra, let me ask you.
We got to stop hiding the truth.
Yeah, exactly. And let me ask you a question, because I never understood this. I did, but I didn't. Why is it when there's a hanging or something like that? Why is it so important to cut off a man's genitalia and different things like that off of his body? Why is that important? What is the significance of that?
It was for degradation and humiliation and intimidation. So all of those things came into play.
Mhm.
How do you keep niggers in place?
Mm.
You got to do stuff like that. Cut his penis off and put it in his mouth.
Wow.
Let him know exactly what we think of that.
Mm.
Cut off his fingers, cut off his toes, burn him right there alive, burn him alive
Mm-hmm.
in the middle of the city square so everybody,
Yeah.
all them niggers,
Mm-hmm.
get the message.
Mm.
Come on now.
That-
Y'all on my subject now. I get very moved by this because this is what I do.
Yeah. And see,
Civil and human rights is what I do.
I want to play this clip. I want to play this clip because I want to hear what Morgan. I know what it said, but I want y'all to hear what Morgan Freeman had to say about Black History Month. But how inhumane is that, Cassandra, to do something like that? How inhumane is that?
How inhumane is it to kill a man because the woman said that he looked at her?
Mm.
What the hell? Oh,
Yep.
What the heck?
Mm-hmm.
First of all, she ugly. Ain't nobody want her. And a black man, she said that black man took a look at her. Looked at her. And I wish y'all would go to the lynching museum in Alabama. Y'all would cry y'all eyes out.
Yeah.
I know I did.
Yeah. Wow.
Just to see the reasons why Black people were lynched.
Mm-hmm.
Just to see the reason.
And
y'all would be like, ain't no way they killed that person. Yes, they did. Y'all need to check that out. Check out lynchings.
Hey, Kurt, is it ironic that the lynching museum is in Alabama?
No, that's not ironic.
Mm-hmm.
It's not ironic. History has shown us that a lot of lynchings happen in Georgia and Alabama.
Mm-hmm.
Georgia, Alabama, Mississippi. But we cannot be remiss. What Cassandra was just talking about just happened not a little over a year ago.
Yeah.
In
Yeah.
Mississippi.
Mm-hmm.
And not only was it a lynching, but when she talked about them cutting a man's penis off,
Mm-hmm.
yeah, they cut his penis off. They decapitated him. They cut his penis off. They cut his fingers and his toes off. Yes.
Mm.
And the history says that they used to do that, and they used to take the pieces and put them in a preserve jar.
Wow.
As like a trophy.
Yeah. Mm. Wow.
It's what?
It was a party. Listen, Kurt, we know this, and anybody that know anything about history, a lynching was party time. Get your beer, get your children, get your popcorn, and come and see them kill a nigga. That's what that was about.
Wow.
It was a party. Everybody from all of the little country towns came to the city or wherever their hanging was, and they had a big party. Just stand around. You take pictures with the nigga as he's burning on the thing, while his penis is in his mouth. Y'all take the pictures and hey, the postcards. Look at the lynching postcards, man. Man, there's so much, Raheem. I'm gonna let you go on.
I know.
Sorry, y'all.
It's a lot. It's a lot. We got two songs on the line too, but I'm gonna play this clip real quick, and then I'm gonna go to Leonard too, because I know Leonard got something on his heart. But let me play this clip right now. We'll comment on the clip. This is Mr. Morgan Freeman, and he's talking about Black History Month. Don't know if he's gonna talk about it in the way that you want him to talk about it, but he's talking about it all the same. So let's take a listen and see what Mr. Morgan Freeman has to say about Black history and Black History Month. And this, I'm playing this clip courtesy of CBS. So thank you, CBS, for this clip.
Black History Month you find
ridiculous.
why?
You're going to relegate my history to a month?
Oh, come on.
What do you do with yours? Which month is White History Month? No, well, come on, tell me.
Well, I'm Jewish.
Okay, which month is Jewish History Month?
There isn't one.
Oh, why not?
Yeah.
Do you want one?
No.
I don't either. I don't want a Black History Month. Black history is American history.
How are we going to get rid of racism until...
Stop talking about it. I'm going to stop calling you a white man.
Yeah.
And I'm going to ask you to stop calling me a black man. I know you as Mike Wallace. You know me as Morgan Freeman.
Okay.
How is he alive?
Leonard, okay, Leonard, are you there?
Yeah.
Okay. Talk to me, brother.
Oh, I mean, that's his opinion. I don't agree with him at all, but that's his opinion.
Mm-hmm. What part do you disagree with?
Well, he said he don't want a Black History Month.
Mm-hmm.
I'm okay with Black History Month. I don't have a problem with Black History Month at all. Like we discussed before, I would never have a problem with somebody celebrating their contributions to American culture.
Mm-hmm.
Why would I have a problem with that unless I was some type of racist?
Do you think he is that? Do you think he is that?
I believe in some aspects, yes, because of how he was affected by racism in his age.
Mm-hmm.
He has a reason for preserving blues culture in Memphis.
Mm-hmm.
Because he believes it's an important part of music and history, the history of the blues. So he supports these arts heavily, especially in Memphis.
Mm-hmm.
This notion is just his point of view. It's his own. It's not mine.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
He's
That's
entitled to his own. Like I said, you don't have to do nothing for Black history if you don't want to.
Mm-hmm.
That's up to you.
Sleep the whole month. Let the month go. Just sleep it by if you want to. Just lay down and go to sleep.
But what is the celebration of African American contributions to this culture going to hurt? What's that going to hurt?
What's up,
like critical race theory. What's this going to hurt? All they're going to do is destroy lives.
Mm-hmm.
You know, you can choose to celebrate the worst of that history if you want to. And you can take the whole month and dress in black and mourn if that's what you want to do.
Mm-hmm.
But everybody ain't going to choose to do that.
Mm-hmm. Leonard, Public Citizen asked a question in the chat there. I'm sure you can see it. Address that.
You teach the truth. You teach the subject matter. You don't exclude African Americans where they are. They didn't ask you to make nothing up.
Mm-hmm.
And one, I'm not one of these people that believe that you can singleize a Black history lesson into everything about Black people, neither.
Mm-hmm.
Right? You know, why we ain't learn about this? No, because you didn't go read nothing else. That's why you did not learn. That's how you're supposed to learn.
Mm-hmm.
Not sit and wait for white folks to give it to you.
Mm-hmm.
It's your fault you don't know nothing else. Everybody else knows that they can go pick up a book.
Mm-hmm.
And you can read it. Education is your responsibility.
Hey, Leonard. TikTok said, I think I'm gonna read what they said. I think he is saying integrate it. Don't put it on the shelf for 1 month.
I'm not really sure what that means.
I think he is saying integrate it. Don't put it on the shelf. I'm reading exactly like it says, on the shelf for 1 month. Phone lines are open. Give us a call, 508-924-3521, 508-924-3521. Give us a call. Love to have your input. And that was Christy. Christy, if you're available, give us a call so you can more elaborate more on what it is that you're saying right now, so we can have a clearer view, so we can actually address what you're saying. The phone lines are open. We'd love to have your input. Tucson, talk to me, brother. What's on your heart? Brother Pete, come to you next. Tucson, the mute button right there, brother.
Yeah, I know it is. You can hear all the background noise, right?
No, we
You can
good.
hear all the background noise.
We good to go.
You hear that?
A little bit. But
Can you hear me?
we can hear you.
Okay,
You over it though.
All right, listen here.
Go ahead.
I don't get emotional about stuff. I don't get my feelings about a certain thing. It is what it is. But you know what? Probably Black history exposed a lot of people for who they were, or who their grandparents were. I don't believe my daddy did. I don't believe my grandfather did that. It's another kicker. People that's about 70 or 80 years old, they saw it all too.
Yeah.
And they were part of it. In fact, a lot of people that have their businesses, and I'm just saying it like that because I don't do all that. I don't got time for all the research and all that. That's not my forte. Is that a word? Well, I tell you. Anyway, I don't have time for that. But I do know that there's a other side of the truth that people want to keep suppressed because they know that their company, the reason why it's there is because they stole somebody else's patent.
Come on.
Let's just tell the truth. If you dig into the history too much, you're gonna find something out.
Yes, sir.
That they don't want you to know. Leave that alone. Let's not talk about that. Let's just do away with it altogether. Because Grandpappy was a crook. I mean, just find it out. If we really dig it out, we'll stop acting so ignorant. And I don't mean no harm by saying that. But the reason why we celebrate some other holidays is so that they can make money. And we hook, line, and sinker. Spend all the man, come on now. So I don't fool with all of that. I don't have time for all of that because, but I do know that I might not be too so smart, but I ain't stupid.
Come on.
I've seen some stuff. I've seen things happen. You know, while people were there was a reason why they were marching. And I agree with Ryan that we talk about the simps. See, we want to keep our people minds narrow. So here we are. We put a few people, you know, Martin Luther King, Malcolm X, and we put their life out there like it was some kind of communist. What do you call that? You know what they call Martin Luther, really? So that they can keep our minds narrow.
Yeah.
Don't search the other people out to let them know that we were really some people with great minds. And there's a bunch of them. That's the thing about it.
And then
Stop right there.
And then sometimes they get the name right. They say, didn't we teach you about Martha Luther King? Martha Luther King. Who is Martha Luther King? I don't know who that is. Where did he come from? Who is Martha Luther King? Who is that? I know Martin Luther King. I know him, the junior. I know who that is.
Hey, right here.
Yes, sir.
Why they always put Martin Luther King uh, boulevard or avenue right there in the hood.
In the hood. In the hood. Absolutely. Absolutely. Wow. 508-924-3521. 508-924-3521. Pete, good morning, sir. How you doing this morning? Joseph, coming to you next.
Greetings. How are you doing this morning, DKM Radio Morning Glow panel, social media, the audience? Hope everybody's doing well this Friday. I'm not sure what the exact title was, but at this point today in time, live right now, it's a used toilet paper value added to anybody that don't acknowledge our existence as a people and our contributions and us entertaining, even trying to explain to get you to understand. All right, please comprehend my perspective. When you look at the things that our people have gone through just in this country alone, we should have the mentality to kill till there ain't nothing left to kill at all. In Jesus' name, Buddha, Confucius, Muhammad, Ali, and everybody else. Okay? For real. Amen, amen. When it comes to this nonsense, this intolerable foolishness. Why am I sitting here trying to explain something to you and get you to admit, if you don't see my existence, I'm not entertaining you at all. I'm questioning yours.
Yeah.
See what I'm saying? The history and the present trauma with this level of conversation, this type of subject matter. And no, can we all get along? I can get along when you ain't nowhere around no more. The problem causer. The corrupt systems that like to denigrate and demise and destroy, human beings in an inhumane way. I'm not joining nobody else's fight. Are you joining mine? Are you protecting our interests? Why we always got to be the one to try to be reasonable and come and try to let's reconcile. Let's communicate. Let's try to reason. Man, I'm a reason with cutting your head off with this nonsense. Why we always doing it? Whether we have a month, no month, our value and purpose as living beings is here because we are here. And if you don't see that, I'm not wasting a moment of my existence trying to explain the reason with you. The second you express to me that you don't see it, you don't appreciate it, you don't value it, is when you may bring your existence into question. Because yes, it's that serious at this point with us. Why are we always tolerating the intolerable, entertaining utter nonsense? I mean, nonsense. You don't appreciate. I got to reason with you. Take a class, hold a TED talk to try to get you to see the value, the purpose, the contributions of a people. That's what you that's what you want me to do. Well, you know this. They always have to set aside. It's not that you were accomplished and talented and really had the skills and the know-how to have the position. You got the position because of set aside. Many of y'all are in this country because of a set aside. What are you talking about?
Come on.
Come on now. I mean, let's just get to it. The sister with Harvard, was she qualified? Everybody that's questioning her qualifications, are they even qualified to participate in that conversation? No! The majority of them are not. They just have a system that gives them leeway to open their trash, no value mouths. And it's unfortunate that a hot round from a high-powered, high-velocity bullet is not going in their mouth through the back of their head and ushering them the heck up out of here because they're wasting oxygen and time and space and taking up energy from the earth. The sun is tired of beaming on you because you're not supposed to be here no more. Come on now.
Wow.
Yeah.
Let's
keep. You want me to come and pray with you? I'm praying for you to be dead today with that nonsense.
Let's keep this thing going. Joseph, are you there?
Yes, sir. I'm here. I'm fired up with him.
Come on. Let's talk about it, man. Black History Month. This Black History Month.
Well, I think we should study Black history all year round because I'm curious about myself, my people. We should know ourselves, and to ourselves we should be true. And we can't be true to ourselves if we don't know about ourselves. So we need to learn as much as we can about ourselves and about what we've gone through. Much of the information was suppressed in school. We were footnoted in history. They're trying to ban books right now for a reason. They're trying to block African Americans from going into Ivy League colleges like Harvard and Princeton. They want to strike down affirmative action because they're afraid that when we apply our minds, critical thinking, we come up with new solutions. Now, let me show you an example. Dr. Carter G. Woodson, who was born in 1875.
Yes.
Just 2 years short of 1877, which marks the end of Reconstruction period, when the white forces began to backlash and try to maneuver us back into quasi-slavery. And we're still not much beyond that today. During that period, Dr. Carter G. Woodson is born. He's in the zeitgeist, the spirit of that time, in which he, W.B. Du Bois, who was contemporary with Carter G. Woodson, they were thinking critically. They were bringing forth new solutions, new ideas. Dr. Carter G. Woodson said we need to have a Black History Week. He started with a week.
Yeah, he did.
Because he knew that there was going to be opposition to a month. So he started, it was Negro History Week when I was in the 3rd grade. And we didn't have a whole month. See? Because there are people that didn't want us to know about ourselves. We didn't even know about the woman who helped the astronaut get into space, did we?
Come on. No.
We didn't know about it until the movie came out. Taraji P. Henson played her. I forgot her name. But see, all this information was suppressed. Now just think, if our children grow up the same way we did, then we're going to stay behind. We'll be thinking behind. People be making, passing laws and stuff. We don't even know about it till months later. But when you know better, you can see your enemy before they even move.
Come on.
So that's why I believe we should study our history and study some more. We ain't studying enough for me. And I'm going to leave it there.
Good deal. Good deal. 508-924-3521. 508-924-3521. Rico, good morning, sir. How you doing this morning?
Man, I can't complain, man. I'm just happy to be in existence and favored by the Supreme Creator. How everybody else doing?
Hey, doing good, doing good. Good to have you, brother. We're talking about Black History Month. We're talking about Black History Month, man. And is it wanted? Is it needed? Why is there a desire for Black History Month? Because I'm gonna tell you something. I talked to a couple of my Caucasian brothers and sisters, and they say they don't know why we even need a Black History Month. Why is there even one? They don't have. I chuckle when they say this, but they say we don't have a White History Month. So why do y'all need a Black History Month? Rico, what's on your mind, and how do you feel about Black History Month?
Well, it started with a week.
Yeah.
But it's needed because, you know, you have people right now like Tom Hanks who's disgusted because American history left out Black Wall Street in Tulsa, Oklahoma. You know, they left out the massacre in Mississippi. I think they call it the Devil's Punch Bowl or something like that, where all these peaches grew or something like that, and all these Black people died after the Civil War, and they covered it up. You know, they don't know about the Edward Steiny, the little boy that was executed. That ain't in our major history. I didn't learn about none of that in school, not one bit of it. I didn't learn anything about the Tuskegee experiments. I didn't know anything about medical apartheid. But man, when I read that book, Medical Apartheid, oh my goodness. So the more I live, the more that I've been, you know, allowed the opportunity to experience this thing called life. I've still been learning, man, that, man, there's a lot of stuff they done did that we haven't even scratched the surface.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
You know, what's the guy that came up with gynecology? Marion something, I can't remember. I think it's Marion Sims. They got these statues of him as the father of gynecology, but he experimented and pretty much tortured all these Black women to come up with women's medicine. And then once he came up with it, he still didn't use it on the Black women. No anesthesia. People being injected with radiation and nuclear stuff. You know, man, there's so many different things. I could go on, and that's the reason why it's necessary.
Yeah, Very necessary.
Because if you don't know your history, you're doomed to repeat it. And they definitely have made a concentrated effort to make sure we don't know about a lot of this stuff that went on over here with Black resistance and the Black experience in good old USA.
Wow.
Even with the little bit that we do know America became what it was off the back of slavery.
Yes.
And we know about chattel slavery. We know about people being bred like dogs and the babies being sold like puppies. We know about book breaking.
Yeah.
But it's still a whole lot we don't know about, and this is after slavery. A lot of people don't know about the black codes. When I went to jail one time, man, and I was in there teaching. What peonage was. Man, I ain't never heard of that. I said, you ever heard of the word peon? People using words and don't even know where it came from.
Exactly.
I had to break it down to them. I became a favorite in there, teaching people. And I'm still learning. I told them, I said, man, it's still the stuff that I'm learning.
Yeah.
And I love it. But it's necessary, because if you don't know where you came from, if you don't know your history, you are doomed to repeat it.
Yes.
And we are in a terrible cycle right now. Right now, we living in the existence where some stuff is going on that's not only is it out of order, but it's never been heard of before.
Exactly.
I've never seen young Black men killing each other at the rate that they are. But they don't have any love or pride for who they are.
Exactly.
They have more hate for each other.
Exactly. Wow. This conversation, I'm loving this conversation, man. And this Black History Month. So we're gonna talk, man. I want everybody to get some education. You know, they already got the education, but I want everybody to share some of the knowledge they will have about some of the people during this month, man. We're gonna use if it's Black History Month, let's learn about Black history, and that's what we're gonna do this month right here. So I'm excited about this month. I'm excited about this time that we're going to spend together. We got let me go to Teresa. Teresa, good morning, young lady. How you doing this morning? We got another young lady, another caller. We're gonna go to the next caller, 717 area code, coming to you next. Teresa, good morning. How you doing?
Hi.
Teresa?
I'm good.
Good dear. Teresa, we're talking about Black History Month right now. Is it needed? Is it warranted? Is it something that we need to get away from? Or because some of my Caucasian brothers and sisters say, look here, I don't know why you need a Black History Month. We don't have a White History Month. So why do you think you need a Black History Month? I chuckle when they say that, but what do you say to that, Teresa?
Yeah. Oh, good morning. Good morning. Good morning. First of all, let's do this. Let's not hear anything that white people have to say anymore.
Wow.
Because they have always tried to push us back. Black history to me is every day. When I looked on a calendar that I had got from EJI, that was something that Black folk excelled at, invented, celebrated every day of the week. I mean, every day, right? So I think that we need to know what it is. Black History Month is something that we had to fight for to get.
Yeah.
Right? Just to be acknowledged in the United States of America. That's what that's about. But to know that we need to, I think somebody has already stated, we need to know our history every day.
Yeah.
And you know that there's got to be something powerful in knowing our own history. I'm talking Black history. I'm not talking about people of color. I'm not talking about any of that. I'm talking about Black history. You know that there's some power in it if we know it.
Yeah.
And if we unite after we know it. I know we will unite if we all go ahead and just learn of our own history, because they're trying to take it away from us. It's everything that we know of or could get to, or even to share in what's going on in our current life. They're banning it away from us. They took away affirmative action. They're telling you not to read books. Remember, the books were written because Black folks couldn't read, but they forgot to tell us that they didn't want us to read.
Yes.
Right? We had to sneak and learn how to read. Right?
Yeah, absolutely.
So to me, we need to do Black history. Black history is important to us. This month that they are giving to us. We appreciate it, but it's not all that we need to do. Yeah. We need to be able to walk every day like white people and know that our history created the United States of America. If it was not for Black people, there wouldn't be a United States of America at all.
Wow, that's good. That's good and very true. That's good and very true. We got a caller from the 717 area code. What's your name, caller? Where you calling from?
Hi, my name is Christy. I'm Christy Lee.
Hey, Christy, how you doing?
I'm doing well. I'm calling from Pennsylvania.
Good to have you with us.
Thank you.
Mhm.
I'm gonna throw a little screwdriver in here. I'm a white lady.
That's fine. That's fine. We all family. We all family.
With
So
my, with my opinion, with my opinions and my views. I mean, first of all, I grew up basically in the South. My elementary and like junior high schooling was in Portsmouth, Virginia.
Yes.
And I grew up with there being a Black History Month.
Yes.
My whole time was, Black History Month. And I always felt like, why do we only have this 1 month? Why do I get 1 month? I, pick a thing that, pick a Black person for what they, invented, or an important, person, and write a report on it. But, I guess it's good if that's, if that's all you can get. But I, my comment with it being integrated is that daily in history, Black folks should be incorporated in that, because they are history. It's not. It's not just you get Black history this one time and that's it. And and I think it's hilarious to me that a white person's response would be, we don't have a White History Month.
Wow.
That's because it's white history 24/7.
Yes, absolutely. Yep. You
So
got
to
that.
me, like, I would like to see it daily. Like, now not my children because they're grown, but grandchildren then, like coming up, learning about Black people, not as a separate, but as a whole with our country.
Exactly.
And and I'm not talking about whitewashing, like what has gone on. I am of the opinion that the real needs to be heard.
Absolutely.
And if anybody feels some kind of way about that, well, then that's, on them.
Yeah.
I can say that I never felt that way in school learning. I mean, what I felt was compassion. What I felt was anger, I guess, a sense of, of just the injustice. And maybe that was strange for a little white girl in, in the South. I don't know. That's just always how I felt. And still to this day, it's to me people are people.
Absolutely.
There's no, I mean, believe me, I know, the history and things like that. But what I also know is under, depending on, or I should say, it doesn't depend on the amount of melatonin in your skin. What's underneath the skin, we're the same.
Absolutely. And I'm gonna tell you something, Christy. I definitely appreciate you. I appreciate you. And we here every day, Monday through Friday, from 7 until 10. We're going a little over today because we had some technical difficulties, so we're gonna extend it a little bit. You're more than welcome to join us anytime you want to. Anytime you want to just call in.
Oh, thank you.
Yeah, absolutely.
Hey, Raheem.
Yes, sir.
A lot of times people say, man, how can we end racism and this and that? And it takes a white person like her.
Yeah.
That has the love and compassion of a human being to really observe and have empathy and compassion to recognize what exists and not deny it and not deflect. You know, to know that there was a war fight over states' rights, but it was really about white supremacy. And then to hear somebody say, why don't we have a White History Month? Do you know that it's coming from a racist place?
Exactly.
But listening to somebody like her, you know, she's not coming from a racist place because she actually gets what we're saying. How is it that you have all of this accomplishment that they are intentionally refusing or allowing you to know about these Black inventors? We have to find out about 100 years later. When we're 40 and 50 years old. She saw it as a child.
Exactly.
So that, I mean, that lets me know there is hope out there, but it lets you know also that, you know, there is something that exists that makes people not want to accept the fact that it does exist, that it is going on.
Exactly. 508-924-3521, 508-924-3521. Phone lines open. Give us a call. Jamie, good morning, sir. How are you doing this morning?
I'm doing well, my brother. How are you?
Hey, doing good, brother. Good to have you, man. We're talking about Black history right now. Black History Month. Is it needed? Is it warranted? Is it something that we need to get away from? Like I stated earlier, man, I heard a couple of my Caucasian brothers and sisters say that, why do we even need a Black History Month? Why is that necessary? They don't have they say they don't have a White History Month, so why is there a Black History Month? Jamie, what's on your heart, brother? Talk to me.
I think both positions are correct, because when you say that we don't have a White History Month, why do we have a Black History Month? You know, some might think that's ignorant, but you might want to understand what the person is saying. I would make that same statement because we ask the question, do we need it now? You know, we look at it as though maybe we question the usefulness of it. So if Black history and we're questioning the usefulness of it, we should be looking more at calling it history now. Because you're no longer a slave. You have supposed those civil rights. There's some things that we have to instill in our community, our people, our leaders, as far as the progress that they can make. But at the same time, the history that needs to be known is history for the so-called United States. When you think about the studies that were done on history and what had happened in the past, there were actually groups that came together to study the importance of why history should be taught. And the thought was that when a person knows history, they become better politicians. They become better members of their community. And when I say person, I'm talking about people in general. Because now, if you look at the people that we elect to office, it's sad to think that if a person is Black, they're serving a Black community when they have a public office. And I'm not one that believes in any way in watering down the racial issue, but I also like to keep it as something that we can talk about rather than a divide.
Okay. Let me ask you this question, Jamie.
Came forward and spoke earlier.
Jamie, let me
those type conversations.
Let me ask you
this. Can
this
only happen.
Hey, Jamie, hold on 1 second. Let me ask you this question real quickly. You said, and I can agree with what you said on this part of it, but I want to extend it a little bit. You say, if a person is Black, should they just represent the Black community, or should they have a better agenda in regards to the Black community? We could actually turn that around, because a lot of times, if a person is Caucasian, they don't necessarily concentrate at all on the Black community. They concentrate more on their community. So I'm not gonna say one is right or one is wrong, but I have to point out that it does happen. It does happen.
And that may be, but one of the things that Dr. King spoke concerning was subverting justice. You know, if you turn around and you, as a Black person, want to be in the position of the white person, what does that make you? You can even turn racism around. To do that it's just ignorance, changing colors, changing places.
Okay.
I sent you a link if you'd be so kind as to share it. That's up to you. I hope you listen to it first. But if you approve it, please do.
Mhm.
But what I was about to say is this, Raheem. I was doing a study for my dissertation concerning critical courses,
Mhm.
critical subjects. And that was like about 2.5 years ago, before we got to the point where they wanted to take history out of schools.
Mhm.
It was found that people that are teaching students now, they are the generation that did not get the true history. So if they learn the true history because they're asked to teach it now, they are grown adults crying. They're upset because these subjects are disturbing for them.
Mhm.
If you look at some of even our Black youth, a lot of them don't want to hear about the things that we're talking about now because it's not the easiest thing to swallow.
Mhm.
But this is the knowledge here that has to be taught. Going back to that study, it said that people that were aware of history, they made better politicians, they made better decisions, they raised their families with different views and different values. You don't get that with someone that doesn't know history.
Mhm.
You don't get that push that when the Black community used to say, if you're Black, you got to be twice as good. You don't get that. You get that from people who understand Dr. King when he said, he who gets behind in a race must forever remain behind or run faster. There are some positive things that can be kept, but there's some negative things that need to be known. And by teaching those in a school, that makes everyone aware. That takes the offense from it. When we talk about Black History for a month, no, my thought would be at this point, if we want to celebrate Black history because it's there, it's almost like the 4th of July when now we got Juneteenth. We just become more and more ignorant as we pile all this stuff on.
Mm.
You know, if we come up with black and white, that's division. There's some truth in the matter. Let's get to the heart of the truth. Teach history.
Mhm.
And that way the Black person will know his history now. The white person will know his history. The children of the Black slaves and the white slave owners will both know their history. So
Jamie,
when
I'm gonna throw this question at you, and then we got to keep this thing circling. I'm gonna throw this question at you, and I can understand what you're saying about teach history. I can understand that part, but and this is the part where this is where the but comes in at. Do you think in this day and time, 2024, where we are in this society that we live in right now, do you think we'll get an equal share of learning Black History Month if we just combine all history together and say, do away with the Black History Month, do away with the White History Month, let's just teach history? How much of our history do you think, honestly speaking, Jamie, would really be taught in this day and time?
Well, I'll put it to you like this, Raheem. If the push was to get more of it taught, because you've had it all along in history. You've had Black History Month. When Black people say they're getting tired of hearing about Dr. King, the same old people. There's a lot. This is a double-edged sword that we're talking about. So to make it meaningful, it has to be something that's going to be impactful. What's going on today? How does history impact today? Black Lives Matters movement.
Mm-hmm.
What's the issues around that? What did that do for us? What did that not do for us?
Mm-hmm.
Were we hoodwinked? What? There's a lot of relevant things that we need to address. But if we just keep calling it Black history and going about it as we go about it, you know, that becomes repetition. But when you get into the history in general, then you educate the people.
Okay.
My people perish for lack of knowledge. It's time we finesse what we are educating, period. And if you don't educate your enemy on who you are, he still's not going to respect who you are. When a person know your journey, what's that saying that they say in the church? You may see the glory, but you don't know my story.
Mm-hmm. Okay. Stay right there for a minute, Jamie.
Story be known.
Exactly. Stay right there. Don't go nowhere. Let me go to Cassandra. Cassandra, same question to you. If we do that, much what Jamie just said, if we do it the way that he said do it, don't teach Black history, don't teach white history, teach history. Teach history. In this day and time, Cassandra, how much light will be shined on Black history in that in that element? I see it in that way. Cassandra?
2.2%.
Wow.
I'm just being honest.
Wow.
I taught school 2.2%.
Mm-hmm.
Because you I don't know. I guess that would be a perfect scenario.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
That
Yeah.
would be perfect. If that would work, that would be amazing. But the bottom line is, we have simple states like Florida, Mississippi, Alabama, Georgia that still don't want Black history taught.
Yeah.
Except the way that they want it taught. So how are you going to get that done? How is that going to happen? It's not going to happen. We can dream about it. It's a good dream. I like that. It's a good thought. But it's not going to happen. Let's just be realistic. And actually, for Black people, our best bet is to teach our own children our history, teach our friends, white, black, orange, green, all of them. We should talk about it ourselves. Because it's rare that I've ever heard white people sitting around talking about any positive Black subject about, and especially about our history, the good things that Black people did history-wise. If you have friends like that, please connect me, because I would love to sit and hear what they have to say.
Yeah. Kurt, talk to me, brother. Kurt, you there? Okay.
Yeah, I'm here, right?
Okay, talk to me.
Yeah, it ain't much to talk about, man. It's a catastrophe. It's a recipe for disaster that has been boiling on the pot for too long. And now folks want to try and recognize or want to try and deflate or deflect from what is true. What is true is that everything about your history, you stole it. Let's just call a spade a spade. You stole it. Everything about their history, they stole it. Made it their own. And now it's coming out. Now what is coming out is the truth. No, you didn't invent that. It was invented by such and such, such and such. No, you didn't say that. That was said by such and such, such and such. Oh, no, you didn't win that war. It was won by such and such, such and such. Let's just be real. And I think that is a fear. In today's world, I think that is the biggest fear.
And why are they afraid?
Because when truth comes out and is accepted, what little bit of power that you have over the people, including your own, will be demolished.
Wow. It's a good deal. Good deal. Badger, talk to me.
Well, it's interesting. I posted in Twitch, for those that talk about the white, no white history. I guess they forgot about the Irish American history, Heritage Month of March. But that also depends if they consider Irish people white or not.
Wow.
So it to me, blending all of the history together is probably one of the hardest things to do.
Yes.
And the reason I say it that way is, how do you teach? You have to be so selective. Because let's just do American history, not world history, anything else, just American history. You've got the start of it. You've got the genocide of Native Americans. You've got slavery. You have the Asian influence. You've got the Jewish influence. You've got the Black influence. There is so much history just in America itself that trying to teach it in one curriculum through elementary, middle school, and high school, you would have to be so selective of what you teach.
Yeah.
especially if it's the truth of the matter.
Mm-hmm. And how do you do that? How do you do that and not offend? Or is offending even an issue?
Because, you know, when it's like one of the things, you know, talking about slave owners.
Mm-hmm.
You know, there were Native American owners, there were black owners, there were white owners. The majority of them were white.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
But if you don't mention the others, people get offended.
Mm-hmm.
So teaching history in an all-inclusive manner can be hard and very offensive to people.
Mm-hmm. Absolutely. Absolutely.
Yet in the same, like I was having a discussion with someone like what things that are going on today, like in Hawaii. You know, how the businesses are doing things and, you know, the whole supremacy topic.
Mm-hmm.
Well, that plays a role in so much stuff.
Yeah.
And all of the history. So to me, when a month is dedicated, I understand it's something that needs to be honored. Because to me, if a month is dedicated for something, that means there's so much that to add it to the general history would dilute it.
Mm-hmm. Good deal. Good deal. Let's keep this thing going. Ryan, what's on your heart, brother?
Well, I kind of like where Jamie was going,
Mm-hmm.
and like Sandra said, it's a great thought. And Badger said a lot too, but I look at it like this because I can remember going through school and there being periods of time where history wasn't really taught. And to graduate high school, I had to take world history. That was the final class that I took, world history.
Mm-hmm.
So I think if we want to take that route, the way to do it would be to start at a young age when you first start being able to wrap your mind around history, and just focus on American history because this is America.
Mm-hmm.
And you take it step by step. And people don't like to hear it, but facts don't care about your feelings. You can be offended all you want to. But if we're going to teach the truth about things, people just going to have to get out of their emotions and deal with the offense. We have to tell it like it is. We have to go step by step, grade by grade at a level that particular age group can handle and bear it all out. You got to flesh it out.
Mm-hmm.
And once everybody is immersed in this and you do not stop the process, even when you graduate high school, if you make the decision to move on to college, keep it going. You have to immerse yourself in history.
Hey Ryan, what do you do?
Let your mind be.
Hey Ryan, what do you do when you teach and you teach not watered down history? You got to be mindful of the age group that you're dealing with as well. But if you're going to teach it and not water it down, what do you do when that young child come to you and say, "Man, was my great granddaddy was he that mean? Was he that nasty to people? Did he really treat people like that? Did that really happen?" What do you say? Because this child is making that could be very traumatic to that child or that young person. I ain't gonna say child, young person. Yeah. Because some people gonna realize that their family was nasty. Now, some people gonna realize if you teach the real history, some of these people gonna realize their family members back in the day was very nasty to people.
Yeah, and that's a hard truth.
Mm-hmm.
We talk about hard truths on this show all the time, bro.
Yeah, absolutely.
Some conversations I gotta sit through and just be quiet and listen.
Mm-hmm.
Because I don't have all of it. I may have grown up as a white guy in a black household, but I don't have every truth. You know what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
So sometimes you just got to deal with that. And if it's a family-based issue, then that child's going to go home and ask questions, and you got to be grown up enough to sit down and have that hard conversation. And if you can't do that, you're part of the problem.
I like that.
Yeah, that's good.
Raheem, may I come in?
Hold on one second. I got you. I got you in my rotation. I got you in my rotation. Let me. But I got Pete. Pete, you up next. What's on your heart, brother?
I'm going back to what I said in the first place. You know, the need for Black History Month goes without even having to explain or reason with anybody. If you're not clear about why there's a Black History Month here in America and why it's needed and the contributions, the ingredients of the whole subject as a month to talk about the contributions of these people, there's no explanation or reasoning or class, prayer or nothing for you. That's what I'm saying. I could care less, and none of us should give any concern about anybody that don't comprehend the need for it. Okay, period. That's what I'm saying. It's not. We're not looking to accommodate you in any way, other than tell you to get goals. That's it. The contributions that this collective group of people have done to this country, right, are go without explaining. Okay, so it's ridiculous at this point. And I go back to the fact that the conditions, the things that these people continue to deal with, that group, do they not have a right to exist? Do they not have a right to be acknowledged as beings on earth? Do they not have a right to freedom and liberty and justice and peace and love? Do they not have the right to have the fullness of their life, to not have a land? I ain't talking about Israel. I'm talking about these people over here. If we were talking about them, y'all be waving the flag saying, yeah. We're talking about these people that you call Black folks. Why are we having to explain this? Many of them ain't even Black when we talk about American history. What American history? The United States is in the Americas with your ignorant self. You don't even have a language. You have a garbage language that's called English in America, American English, which is a trade language for doing commerce. It's a garbage language made up of all type of languages, like Swazi or Swahili in Africa. How many of us even know that? Huh? America is in the Americas, in case you didn't know that. It's not America. It's part of the Americas and the outlying and minor islands. And many of these copper-tone native people that you confuse to be Black, African-American, Negro, colored, or whatever derivative you call them, they Aboriginal indigenous to the Americas and the outlying and minor islands, in case you didn't know that. American history, Black history is world history, okay? That's the factual matter of what it is. Now, why we around here trying to explain this to anybody? Your spiritual leaders in antiquity sound like they was more melanated than anything. And it's not about throwing race around. What I'm saying is, why are we in 2024 entertaining the conversations from antiquity and then still wanting to reason? Listen, man, if you don't want to get along, we ain't going to get along. I'm not stepping to the table to ask you, can we join in the brotherhood of humanity? I'm telling you, you're going to acknowledge my humanity. That's what I'm telling you. And you don't have a choice in the matter. And this is what will be tolerated, and this over here is what won't be tolerated. And if you need to be made an example of, then step up so you could be the first one to get clarity so everybody else can be clear. That should be our position today in this time. Are you kidding me?
Good deal.
Huh?
Good deal.
2 million acres of land for Black farmers, and you giving money all over the world. How many just stealing property, locking people up unjustly, still killing people, questioning the most well-educated demographic on planet Earth? Black, so-called Black females. Everybody on Earth know they're the most well-educated, accomplished, talented, able group on Earth. And you had a nerve to question their credentials and their qualifications? Huh? Are you kidding me? And then we're going to sit here and go back and forth and reason and dialogue and try to come to some consensus. The only consensus with the intolerable mess that we tolerate is to stop tolerating it.
Exactly.
That's the issue at this point.
Good deal. We're going to go in this order. We're going to go in this order right here. We're going to go Teresa, Jamie, Rico, Christy, and then Leonard. Teresa, what's on your heart?
Hey, I'm with the person that just got through talking. Man, it's 2024. There's no more reasoning. The fact that we keep being pushed back. If we were the ones who helped build this nation, why are we not pushed forward? Right now, we are offering everybody else into our into the United States of America other than Black folks.
Mm-hmm.
We're doing stuff outside of the United States, but not taking care of Black folks. If you did create a law just to give us a pat on the back to say, oh, we thinking about you, you taking that away from us as well. So in this day, it is time for us, I'm like the guy, when they say, let's reason, no, you're gonna make I need to see where this is gonna benefit my people at this point.
Mm-hmm.
Ain't no, and this is no thing against white people, Asians, Hispanics, and that. That's what everybody else has done now. The Black people are the only ones that say, okay, we'll wait our turn. Okay, we're okay. No, we're not.
Mm-hmm.
We're not okay.
Yeah.
And if you look at the numbers, we're 13% of this United States of America, and we have no 13% represented nowhere for Black people.
Mm-hmm.
None. So that's what we got to start looking at. If we're going to do the representation, if you're elected and you Black, when you get to the table, you got to think about your community.
Mm-hmm.
You got to. Otherwise, you don't need to be there. Because that's what they do. I know that Asian people got together and got a hate crime bill before Black people did.
Mm-hmm.
So tell me it can't be done.
Yeah. Yeah. Wow.
Okay, so I'm gonna start. I want to continue to listen.
Absolutely. And we're gonna get out of here in a little bit, but I'm going in rotation. I said, and Jamie, you up next, brother. What's on your heart? Rico, coming to you after Jamie.
Yeah, Raheem, that brother that just came up is a prime example of what I'm saying about history. The conversation that he made, those are the type voices they're needed because it's educational.
Mm-hmm.
But in school, there are several subjects. Now, maybe something like that's the thing that we should be getting at home. But to bring that to the table and the sister to follow up with, yeah, that's where she is as well as he attempted to communicate with this watered down English as he's referring to, and the emotions that came to the table, it clouds conversation. And it's a whole different show if you ask me. But what I will say is this. When it comes down to moving forward, you're here, it has to be something that's systematic because it's the education system. If we want to introduce a course that they call, what are those called? An elective, then that should be. But if our main course is not perfect or should be corrected, there's a means of doing that. We should be addressing the issues. If someone is going to give you something that's crap, call it crap. And if you continue to deal with that crap, then that's on you. Perfect that crap. If somebody's going to be in a position to feed me, I'm going to demand the best serving I can get. That's a different story other than the fact of do we need Black history or we don't. Listening to you all, to be honest with you, if the people want to take it out of the school, we're saying let them because they aren't doing a good job anyway.
Wow.
I know that's not the intent. That's not the intent. I know that.
Mm-hmm.
But what I'm saying is we need to focus on perfecting. I love what my brother that came behind me said about starting early. That is the way education is supposed to work.
Mm-hmm.
If the education system is failing, let's look at the system. Because if we go and demand Black and white is sitting by because that sounds offensive, and then you got my brother that just spoke, I wouldn't get behind him. I would pull him to the side, and by the time he and I was done, either we'd be walking different directions, or some of that would be toned down. Because as a collective, we need to have a voice that's representative of the collective. We have people that are passive, people that are assertive, and people that are aggressive. But we want our message to sound intelligent.
Mm-hmm.
Not that someone can dismiss us for any reason because of the way we sound or what we have to say.
Wow.
That time, well, I won't even say it's out because I don't really think it's ever been in. Anyone that's ever represented, or to include Malcolm X, presented themselves in a manner that represented us well as a people and our demands. And they did it intelligently, without all that anger and fear. We ain't gonna start no war, I hope not. Because everybody knows we ain't got no weapons, we ain't got no tanks. They come in our neighborhood today.
Tupac said,
and
Tupac said, Tupac said one time before, and I'm not gonna. Well, I ain't gonna make that comment. But Tupac said this right here. He said a lot of times if you go knock on the door and you see people eating, if you're hungry and you go knock on the door, you knock on the door and they open the door and you see the food before you and they say ain't no food in here and they close the door. You come back a couple of days later and you're still hungry. You knock on the door again and they open the door. Everybody mute your line. We got some background noise. Everybody mute your line. And knock on the door again. And when you knock on the door, they open up the door and you see the food and you smell the food and you ask them for something to eat and they say there's no food here. How many more times are you gonna go and be that nice little person, knock on the door? Or is it gonna come a point in time where you maybe consider kicking that door in and getting you something to eat because you're hungry? Jamie, what do you say to that? At what point are you gonna stop knocking like the good little fella and go in there, kick that door in and get you something to eat because you're hungry and your family is hungry? At what point are you? Now, I'm not condoning violence. That's not what I'm saying. But I'm saying, get your needs met.
Okay, Raheem, the answer to that lies in history. There's an ask and there's a demand. If you look at civil rights, they asked and they demanded. There is a way to get that something that's back there. I know you use eating, which would imply an urgency for the moment, but I'm looking at it more in a sense of politics and kind of what battles we are fighting.
Mm-hmm.
There's a way of demanding it, and there's a way to go about it. If you are operating in a system and your taxes are going toward that system, and that system says it should be doing this, then go and demand of that system. But there's a way to do it. And when you, as Malcolm X said, by any means necessary.
Mm-hmm.
Well, there's some other means you want to exhaust before you go kicking in the man's door.
Well, you've knocked on the door 3 times and you've seen and smelled the food. They're eating. They getting full. And you see this.
But then maybe
you're still hungry.
And going back to what I said about civil rights, Raheem, when they did those sit-ins and all that, you ain't bringing no more food in this house until we get some food.
Mm-hmm.
I'm just using that same little line you just gave me.
Mm-hmm.
There are ways to address issues of that. We can ask, we can inquire, we can ask, and we can demand. All those require creative strategies.
And see, and that's my point right there. And that's my point. The last part you just said, we can demand, and that's where I think Pete is. He wanted to respond to that, but I think that's where he is right there. And he's I think he may be past the asking. I think he's to the point, and I'm not gonna speak. I'm gonna let him go. Then I'm gonna circle back around Rico. I know I said I was coming to you next. I'm gonna let him respond to what Jamie said, Rico. Then I'm gonna come to you. Go ahead, Pete.
Right, and let me try to be articulate. That's scared Negro talk that you talking, sir, and we done that all the way up to today. I'm not anxiously saying let's go out and kill everybody. I said we need to have the mentality to not tolerate what's intolerable. And you are coming with the kumbaya, can't we all get along? Oh, well, let's try. We done tried all of that already. When are you going to be intolerant? When are you going to stand up and get up off your knees? Are you comfortable being a N-word in this society and looked at, denigrated, and dominated? Are you comfortable with that? Just stay on your knees then. Kill yourself if that's where you at. I'm asking you today to get rid of yourself if that's where you are in your heart and in your mind and in your thinking. You don't have a place on planet Earth. And certainly you disrespecting me as a man of melanation if you think like that. Because the time for that is over with. That's what I'm saying to you. Did I explain it enough where you could comprehend it and represent us intelligently and all of that? I don't give a hoo-ha if I say it in such a professional way. That's over with too. If you don't understand what I'm saying, then when the slap come across your face, hopefully you will have clarity. And if not, you might not have a head because that's where it's at. Ain't no more negotiating, reading, none of that. Reasoning. That's over with. That's what I'm saying to you. Where's your mentality to stand up and be a man? Take them tight panties that
Pete, had to mute you for a second, brother. Calm down.
Hey, Raheem, let me address that for 1 second.
Now, are we gonna make it around to Rico? Rico, you okay, brother?
Do you mind?
Yeah, I'm good.
Rico?
I'm good.
Go ahead.
I'm good. Go ahead.
Go ahead.
Okay, now. Now,
hold on. Let me say this before you say something. Jamie, before you say something, and I'm talking
about. Hold on, Pete. And I'll give you my address, and let's have this conversation.
Pete, hold on. No, I'm hold on. Listen, both of y'all remember where y'all at. Both of y'all remember that we have a world of people listening to us. Remember, represent yourselves right now. Both of y'all. This ain't how we do it. Come on now.
Okay, now. Okay. Let me tell you who I am, sir. I'm Jamie Eatman. As a matter of fact, I'm Minister Jamie Eatman because I serve my people, not because I'm a clergy. I use the term minister to imply servant of the people. I am on the rise. And what that means is this: situation and circumstances that would prevent me or be boundaries or try to contain me, I rise above them. You all both missed the last word I said, which was strategy. You just can't go haphazardly trying to get anything. As a matter of fact, one of the strategies of war is whatever you gain, you need to know how to maintain it. So if there's no strategy in going about you in trying to obtain something, you never know what you're going to get. Hopefully you wouldn't lead and desire to get anyone killed, but listening to you, as I said, I would have pulled you to the side. I do hope, Brahim, please give him my number, because his brothers like this, strong as he is, I can appreciate the strength. But strength and strategy is what gets results. Strength alone gets you killed.
Okay, good deal. Rico, talk to me, brother.
Yeah, I agree on that end. There has to be some structure, because we are going against an organized, dysfunctional system that is giving us backlash, back push. They're pushing back against this effort. Well, they ain't even pushing back. We wouldn't even have to have a Black History Month if this was a fair, logical country that acknowledged and recognized people for what they deserve to be acknowledged and recognized for. But here it is, we want to be acknowledged and recognized in a system that didn't even want to recognize as a complete human being. Ain't we gonna make it?
Wow.
If we depending on them, we ain't gonna make it, because in 2024, they still trying to make sure that we don't realize that we should be recognized, acknowledged, and respected for more than what we've done, and we should be compensated, and in some ways praised for even surviving what has happened over here. But see, there's once again a concerted effort. So now, and it's organized through the government, through the Constitution, 3/5 of a human. And they put it in the Constitution, and they made it work, and it's still working. They want to make laws and government to stop you from learning Black history. They want to take words like woke and spin the narrative, anything to demonize you trying to learn what you should know just out of the fact of God-given righteousness. They try to refuse that. They don't want you to know that for a certain reason. So, you know, it takes individuals that recognize this. You know what I did, man, when I was young? This is where I got my Black history from. Not only my grandmother, because if it was up to my mom and my dad, I would have been totally different. They got distracted. I watched Eyes on the Prize in the 8th grade on PBS. And that's when I started getting my Black history that I didn't know about. And my God, I seen my first story about Emmett Till in the 8th grade.
Wow.
On Eyes on the Prize. And man, I cried, because that could have been me. If God had made me be born back then, if he had made me Emmett Till, that could have been me going through that experience. And amongst that, every Sunday I was still learning more and more Black history. And I'm like, oh Lord, have mercy. When I go back to this majority white school, man, I don't know how I'm gonna cope, because I got a bad attitude. I'm frustrated, I'm mad, and I'm disappointed. So that's where that anger and that passion comes from. But we have to be able to structure it and organize it and make sure that we don't let it get the best of us, because it is a way that you have to do it. But I mean, you know, I really think about the fact that in this system that they designed, we got to understand that was a structure, organization, and a design that was completed that made America succeed the way that it did. Even, and I ain't just talking about successfully financially and economically or militarily, but I'm talking about through slavery. It succeeded. It worked. It was a way of life. And they didn't want to let it go. And now here it is. Black History Month come around, and we finally come up with a way to recognize us for at least a week. Man, let us squeeze in this week time all the information we can about us, since we only know about the men who built America and the men who destroy other countries and conquer other countries. Give us at least 1 week.
Yeah.
Okay, now let's move it to 1 month.
Mm-hmm.
But over in this country that was designed to not recognize us as human beings, we see Black History Month start leaning toward praising entertainers and billionaires. So we got to do it on our own, because if we don't, we'll worship Kanye more. I ain't gonna even say worship. We'll praise and respect Kanye more. We'll respect Martin Luther King Jr. Y'all want to hear nothing about that stuff?
Exactly.
I'm tired of slave movies. I just want to see us in good movies in a good light. What kind of good light? Making money. You know, it sort of go back to the show you had yesterday. Mind you, I changed my opinion from what I had started talking about yesterday. I would have took the piece.
Yeah,
I really
I saw that.
understood
I
the
saw
question
that.
you asked.
I saw that. I saw. Yeah, I saw what you put on the thing.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I really thought I really listened to that question that you asked, man, and then I changed my opinion. But see, that is the black man today. The black man has bought in and been indoctrinated to this system that white man has created, especially with economics, that you even had black slave masters turn out to be worse than the white slave masters. It works. Why did it work? It was financially profitable. That means it's successful.
Exactly.
So let me treat people that look just like me worse than the white people treat them.
Wow.
That's what slave owners do. And I want in. I want that money. So, I mean, we've been distracted. And it is up to us to organize and teach our own. And the thing is, you know, in a perfect world, it would be good if we could do that through the school system. But like Pete said, man, that time is over with. If we keep waiting on them, we'll just see our community go further and further downhill, because we're watching a lot of these kids who kill each other that don't know not one drop of their history, and they don't have any pride in who they are.
Exactly.
So we have to catch them young. We have to read them these books. We have to give them the education that they will receive from an HBCU starting in the 3rd grade. And make that a part of their regular culture. Make that a part of their regular education. Not just 1 month, but every day. If you got to you got to do some extra educating when your child get home from school, then somebody got to realize that's what we need to do. Even if you have to hire a black tutor or a white tutor just to teach some black history.
A part of what you said, Badger asked a question, and you said, so it's becoming like them the answer.
No, not becoming like them, but just using the same organization and structure to build your own system to counter that. You don't have to you don't have to be as rude, but you do have to be selfish, to a certain extent. Because if I don't even say selfish, you have to just be fair. You can still, even in black history, we could tell some white history, but we have to tell the complete truth, the good and the bad.
Good deal.
We have to tell about the abolitionists.
Absolutely. Let's keep this thing going. Let's go to our sister Christy. Christy, what's on your heart?
Hey, first of all, I am so grateful for this conversation.
Praise God.
I just appreciate listening to everybody and their views. I want to say that I think I've changed my mind on the Black History Month.
Okay.
Perhaps there needs to be a Black History Month for, you know, kind of like if you want to say the famous people that everyone knows about already, you know, the Martin Luther Kings, although there's only one. But I think with that, still tying in the Black folks that contributed in every way throughout history during the different, you know, historical time periods. I think that should have already been done. But I still think then, okay, have the month, but then please just also integrate, you know, reality, real history into those, different times. The other point I wanted to make is talking about the hard truths about, learning about your ancestors. I have to say, okay, I understand it. I just think it's nonsense. If someone is so fragile that the knowledge that their great whoever did, something that was horrifying, okay. So what does that have to do with, let's see, what does that have to do with me? What I can do from that is take that information, take that knowledge, learn from it, and see what I can do to pass on something better. It's just, I think the whole insecurity, or it just shows the insecurity in oneself and the fear of being, of losing your superiority, your self-imposed inferiority and power. And that's what I think people are afraid. I mean, to me, it's crazy, but that's what's behind that to me. Like the feeling behind, oh, we don't want to know this, we don't want to whatever. Making somebody feel bad, well, you know what? It's all right to feel bad about it. You should feel bad about it.
Yeah. It's history.
And then try and do better.
Yeah, exactly.
But I do appreciate you guys in hearing your conversations and just the talk, regardless of, everyone has different viewpoints based on how you came up and where you came up. But I just appreciate listening to all of it.
And we appreciate having you here. And we appreciate having you here with us as well. So thank you. Thank you too. Let me go to Leonard, Kurt, then Cassandra. Leonard, what's on your heart, brother?
Man, I almost left.
Don't go nowhere. Got a lot of people here, brother. I ain't gonna forget about you, though. I ain't gonna forget about you.
I hear a lot of people talking this and talking that and blah, blah, blah. And I mean, what's getting accomplished as far as y'all feelings or what have you? It is what it is. It's just subject matter. A lot of things I don't read, they ain't got nothing to do with race that bother me, but oh well, it's history. It is what it is. I mean, a lot of people get so emotional about everything, usually because of some type of personal issue.
Wow.
Like, say, for instance, sometimes it's just good for me to just listen for the very simple fact is some of you make me seem as if my life was a completely different experience than everyone else. Some of you, like I said, my goal for you in this month of February is to reach you from your slave mind. Because if you continue to hang on to that, what else will you ever be?
Wow.
I'm gonna sit up and I'm like Pete. I don't talk to people that don't want to hear me talk. I don't mingle with people that ain't about the direction that I'm going in. So it's not me. I'm a peacemaker. I always bring peace to a situation. That is my goal as a peacemaker. But if there's no peace to be made, we're gonna go our separate ways. And then you have set the tone for a completely different response. And so a lot of people are talking, oh, I'm so frustrated. I'm not. Because I do whatever I want to do. Now, why you don't, I don't know. I don't particularly care. Because something about you is what's keeping you from getting what you want. Has nothing to do with me. I wouldn't stake all my wishes on a bunch of black people getting together and they all thinking alike, walking alike, talking alike, and acting alike. I wouldn't bet 50 cents on it.
No.
So, and that's what some of y'all problem is. You want to impose yourself on other black folks because they black. And you need to stop doing that.
Do you agree, Leonard, that there's different ways to approach the issues that we're dealing with, though? Because
several different ways and strategies to approach to get change. Do you accomplish what you set out to do? But more so is, what are you trying to accomplish? A man that's coming and sending me a group say, I don't know what to do. Then shut your mouth and listen. If you don't know, why are you talking? There are some people in here who have made it to have some information to share with you to show you exactly how to do it. This notion that you are, because somebody didn't teach you and somebody hid something from you, is a cop-out.
Come on now.
It's a cop-out. You should know who you are because of your own self-study. If you want to learn so much more about history, go to college. Get in an academic circle of scholars on African-American history. You'll never be satisfied. You got Black History Month. They've been teaching Black history in school since I was going to school. But y'all don't like the Black people they pick. So now you complain. Well, pick some more then if that's what you want to do. Who said you just had to learn about them? What kept you from going to open up a book about Black facts and Black people and entrepreneurs? Who? You chose not to do that.
Yeah.
Everybody talking about, I die for this and I die. Fool, you ain't got to die for it. Your ancestor did. Take your tail to the pole and vote. You could get a whole Black History year if you wanted to, if you'd elect the people that had that on their agenda. That's what it's about. Don't tell me about what you wish and then these strategies to accomplish them. You ain't doing none of them, but sitting around on your hiatus.
Not
trying
the
to tell
hiatus.
somebody else Black what they should know and how they should live. You ain't gonna never learn everything about all things. Pick and choose. Become professional and experts at the information that you choose to share.
Good deal. Good deal. We're going to get out of here in a minute.
Hey, hold on, Leonard. I got a question, Leonard. Do you think there are enough representatives to vote in for that? You just said, vote them in, go elect them. Do you think there are enough people running that to even cause that change that you just said? That's what it would take to do, because it's going to take more than voting. We ain't got enough politicians representing us to even stand on that.
Well, I think what happens is a lot of the people that lose are those people. And my goal to try to teach Black people about power is that, one, you must show power this way. You can't expect people to follow you and you a one-trick pony. If all you talk about is one thing, you are no good for public office, because it's a public office. I need you to know a lot more than Black history. I need to let you know about finance. I need you to know about environmental issues. I need you to know about health care. I need you to know about all those things. And I need to hear a comprehensive plan for me to vote for you. You can't sit here and run for a government office and your only issue is reparations. You're going to lose. So become a little bit more comprehensive and present things to people in a way that makes sense to them. Only way you represent the majority of Black people if it's the district that puts you in that spot is majority Black. So more than likely, those concerns may be that. But when you set yourself up and you become a narrow-minded individual, you're of no use to no one.
Good deal. Stay right there, Leonard. Let's keep this thing going. We got a few more minutes before we get out of here. Kurt, what's on your heart, brother? Talk to me.
Well, I hear what Leonard is saying, and it's true. However, it's not that matter-of-factly. It really ain't.
Why'd you say?
Ain't.
Why did you say that?
Because what Rico just said is more reality-based. So you got to understand the powers that push behind the power of the vote. We got some representatives in there right now that are pushing for that. But see, you got such things as, I'll just put one out there, man. Y'all forgive me if I sound a little, I'm not well, but you got such things as, for example, Citizens United that completely altered the power that controls the vote. And it shifted the power to basically one side of our society. You have to account for that. You have to account for the fact that over the last 7 years, they have stripped the Voters' Rights Act of 65, 64, one of them. I always get the Voters' Rights Act and the Civil Rights Legislation. I always get those two mixed up because they happen back to back. But you got to understand that for the last 7 years, there's been an entity in government that has been working feverishly to strip the Voters' Rights Act. You got to understand that every 7 years, the Black community lose their right to vote. Because the Voters' Rights Act is an act. It has not been enacted into law. There's things that have to be understood. We want to talk about our right to vote, our right to vote, our right to vote. Well, if we're going to press on that, then somebody should be saying, I want this written into law. Not as an act that has to be an act that has to be ratified every 7 years. And don't assume that they just gonna ratify it, because they might not. If they get control of the House, the Senate, and the presidency again, what is going to happen, and I hate to say it because some of y'all say, yeah, Kirk Wright. Some of y'all say, oh, here you go. I have been predicting certain things that will happen over the last 10 years, y'all. If they get control of the House, they get control of the Senate, and they get control of the presidency again, the Voters' Rights Act will be struck down. You got to understand how they do such things like that. Sometimes they don't go on the record and cast a vote. Sometimes they don't go on the record and cast a vote.
Yeah.
Sometimes what they'll do is they'll hold it up in committee, to where the idea of even casting a vote on it will not even make it out of committee. Now, when we talk about history, and I'm going to land this plane here. When we talk about history, I don't mean no harm, and I don't mean no disrespect, and I don't mean no offense. Let's stop putting it on these parents, because some of these parents are very much like me. They teaching their kids the real history at home. If real history is not reinforced in the public, you're speaking hearsay. I don't care how strict of a parent you are. I don't care how smart of a parent you are. I don't care how much power you got over your household. If what you are teaching is not reinforced in the public, your child soon will have to leave your house. Once he leaves, his human nature will tell him that age-old saying, I'm going to do as the Romans do.
Wow. Cassandra?
I'm just saying right here.
Yeah, I'm with you.
I'm here.
Talk to me, sis.
No, first, I want to apologize because I didn't realize I'd come off mute. And then, is it Miss Chrissy or Chrissy?
Miss Christie?
Chrissy?
Miss Christie, yes.
Christy, yes. Thank you so much. I appreciate, you coming on and sharing with us. And I say that because there have always been, as far back as you want to search, been white people that stood with us, even if they didn't fully understand us, they stood with us when they knew that something was wrong.
Yes.
So I want to applaud her and thank her, because she said even as a child, she knew that certain things were wrong.
Exactly.
And that is what it's going to take. it's going to take communication. I didn't think it was Rico. Somebody said that we can talk about certain things all day long, but unless white people talk about it among themselves, there's very little chance for change. I don't remember who said it. It might have been Rico, but I believe that's the way it is. And I'm grateful that we're having these kinds of conversations. And just for anybody that's listening, I'm the black sheep of the family at first say, because I cry loud and spare not sometimes, and I don't. And it's not emotions as people just, oh, she's just emotional. No, it's not. Because when I'm emotional, if you want to call it that, I'm stating facts and I'm standing on what I believe. So I just wanted to say that. You guys have a great weekend and love you all.
Love you as well. Love you as well. Well, we got to get out of here, man. It's already, man. It's 11:03, and we have some technical difficulties, and so I had to extend it a little bit because now we lost some time. We lost some time with the phone issue that we had, and I'm glad that everything is back up and running as it should be. And thank you all for joining us. We're here every day, Monday through Friday, from 7 o'clock in the morning until 10. But we have situations where it's standing just so we can make up the time. But it's been a great conversation. It's been a great discussion. This is Black History Month. It's February, Black History Month. So look for some more conversations much like this throughout this month right here and beyond. We're not gonna stop. We're not gonna stop. Go to calendar. Say February, 28, 29, whatever it is this year. We're not gonna stop because the calendar says that. We're gonna keep going. We're gonna keep going. We're gonna keep building. And we want to talk about solutions.
Brian,
yes, we want to talk about solutions as well. Go ahead.
Can you extend an invitation to those white people or whoever? I don't know, and I hate to say it like that, but extend an invitation for them to make sure that they call in. Absolutely. The rest of this week, even or next week, even though I might not be able to join in, I listen. But we need people like that to be on this platform and on other platforms to speak that perspective.
Amen.
Absolutely. And
amen.
And I say it all the time. And everybody, we welcome everybody. We welcome everybody. Everybody is invited. This is not just for this. This is for everybody. This is for us to come together and have the dialogue. A lot of stations, a lot of channels, a lot of radios or whatever don't want to have conversations like this because they have other kind of ulterior motives or agendas or whatever you might want to say. We don't have that. We want to have the dialogue. We want to have the conversation. We want to bring you together. Whether you agree with us, don't, or it does not matter. Let's just talk about it. Let's talk. Let's talk. We could conquer a lot of things. We could put to rest if we just take the time to talk about it. You may realize that we're more alike than we are different. You may realize that we are more alike than we are different. But if we don't have that conversation, that dialogue, we'll never get there. I think conversation is the key. I think conversation is the key. Watch this. Miss Christy, you still with us? Oh, I think we just lost her. Okay. Okay, but still, that's where we are. So yeah, absolutely. Everybody, white, black, orange, polka dot, lily stripe, whatever you are, call in, be a part of the dialogue. Let's talk. Leonard, somebody missed a part of this conversation, man, and they said, man, I sure wish I could hear every part of that thing, man. I don't think there's a way. But Leonard, is there a way for them to hear it?
There's always a way.
Come on, Leonard.
If you did not get a chance to hear this show in its entirety, log on to www.dkmmediagroup.com at 3 o'clock Eastern today. Good deal.
Now,
that'll be shortly.
Yeah, that's right around the corner. That's knocking at the door. Look here. I was good to tell Rico to pray us out this morning, but he gonna say two things. He gonna say two things. We ain't gonna let him do that. That joke gonna say two things. But listen, Cassandra, pray us out, sis.
Father, we just thank you right now for this beautiful day that you have given us, God. We thank you for everyone that is under the sound of my voice. We ask you to bless each and every person that participated on this panel, that has listened to what we have had to say, God, because we really want you to get the glory out of Morning Glow. God, we thank you right now for Raheem, his family, God. We ask you to let Willa enjoy herself this week, God. And we just ask you to use us all collectively to make this world a better place. Bless us all. Keep us all. In Jesus' name we pray. Amen, amen, and amen.
Man, Raheem, I enjoyed that, Cassandra, because people really forget. We're trying to make this world a better place.
Yes.
That's what it's about.
Yes.
If you ain't about that, kick rocks.
What the world needs now.
Oh, no, Raheem. No. No, amen. No more singing.
No.
Teresa, is that Teresa? Teresa, y'all have a good day. Raheem's starting to sing.
We're not throwing rocks, we kicking them. We need kids.
Kick rock. What the world needs now.
He'll make a song out of anything.
You do not need that singing.
Look. I'm about to go. Don't make me. Love y'all. I go Luther on you. Y'all watch out.
Boy, give it to me again. Hold on. Give it to me again, Raheem.
Want to do it again? Want to do it again?
No.
Come on now.
What in the world was that?
That was Luther Vandross. That was Luther Vandross.
That sounds like a cold brew in a stall is what that sounds like.
That was Luther Vandross. That's what that was. Y'all better stop hating on my singing. Y'all know it sounds good. Y'all gonna go back and listen to that thing about 20 more times. I might get a Grammy.
Give it to him one more time, right here. Lord, you want to mess me up.
That's a shame. That's a shame.
What you say, Cassandra? You want to hear it again?
No.
Oh, I thought I heard.
No, absolutely not.
I thought I heard you say you wanted to hear it again. I'm here to please them. Oh, okay. It's been a great broadcast. I want to thank everybody for joining us. And more than that, I want to thank you for allowing DK, your media group and associates, and the Morning Glow for being a part of your morning. It is now 11:09. You're about to exit the Morning Glow. But before you go, I want you to do me two favors, if you will. One, I want you to continue to pray for us because we are certainly praying for each and every one of you. Number two, why this is real simple. I want you to go out there, find somebody and give them a hug because you never know. It could be the only hug that they get, or it could very well be their last. Love you, and ain't nothing you can do about it. Have a great day and a better tomorrow. And if we shine some of this light on you from the Morning Glow, take it out there into this wicked and cruel world that we live in and let your light so shine. If you get an opportunity, give somebody some love. You just might find some love in return. Won't that be a beautiful thing? Have a great day. Take care of each other. And please, please, please be blessed. Talk to you Monday morning if God say the same. Give somebody some love and truth. They will appreciate it. And I'm sure that you will as well. Have a great weekend, y'all. Love ya.